So they say spin-off. Do they really think that we're so stupid that we don't know what they're setting this up for? This screams to me like they're just kind of setting right up for a remake or a reboot, not a spin-off, as they're trying to test the waters probably on this article. Oh Lord, don't. To quote a certain film franchise, I got a bad feeling about this. I don't think this is going to be, if they have anything in mind, I don't see them deciding to do a spin-off. It really feels like they're going to do a reboot. A lot of the YouTube channels who cover Star Wars, probably myself included, have said, just watch, they're remaking everything else. All they need to do is recast the original 3, and then they'll be able to remake till their heart's content, just like they want to. Just like that's why we have the young Han Solo. That's why the new image of the new leaked young Luke Skywalker crap. You know, we do have people that they have cast for Carrie Fisher, even though they CG'd her face over it for young Princess Leia. Spin-off doesn't seem right to me.
My excellent friend.
Also, thank you for being a brand new subscriber. I should probably turn off my notifications when I make videos. But that's the fun of this. My channel is like very much raw. You get my honest reactions and my honest, unedited, unfiltered stuff. So oh Lord, let's just read the article here. And I don't have a good feeling about this at all. So this is a Screen Rant article. This came out November 30th, so last night. Lucasfilm has recast all the main heroes from the original Star Wars trilogy, which may well prepare the way for a very different kind of spin-off. So far, Lucasfilm has used their spin-off of movies like Rogue One and Solo to explore the rich tapestry of Star Wars history. Their focus has been on setting up the original trilogy, revealing Han's backstory, or exploring just how the rebellion got the Death Star plans in the first place. Results have been mixed. Rogue One was a tremendous success, critically acclaimed and breaking over $1 billion in the global box office. Unfortunately, Solo proved rather more flawed. Well, it's not so much it was flawed, it's just people were boycotting it because of Last Jedi, and it was just kind of a blah movie. The film didn't really have a strong concept to begin with. No, it didn't. Greenlit by Disney just because of one scene and lacking a central theme or idea. Yeah, Han Solo was a side character in his own movie, in the Solo movie, in my opinion. It was fatally undermined by a lackluster marketing campaign that assumed the Star Wars brand could never fail to perform well. Since then, Lucasfilm has reportedly pivoted away from their original plans. The spin-offs are believed to have been put on hold, with the studio instead focusing on expanding the Star Wars TV presence. Oh god, we already have the Star Wars TV presence. Related, all upcoming Star Wars movies, I don't care. We don't care anymore. But in a recent twist within the Star Wars tale has raised a far more interesting possibility. It has now become clear that Disney has recast all the central characters of the original trilogy, Han, Leia, and Luke. That creates an exciting possibility that Lucasfilm could create a brand new adventure starring the greatest heroes of the Star Wars galaxy. Oh, Lord. So, only 2 of the recast Star Wars original trilogy stars have appeared on the big screen. The first was a delightful appearance. Well, it wasn't delightful. It was kind of creepy. Of the young Leia Organa in Rogue One. Norwegian, I can't speak this morning. Actress Ingvild Delia played Leia in the film, chosen because of her ability to replicate a 19-year-old Carrie Fisher. Well, they still had to CG on top of her quite a bit. As for her similarity to the character in height, body type, and profile to the actor, Delia spent months studying Fisher's facial expressions, working hard to mimic her precisely, and then acted out a very brief scene. Her face was then overlaid by a digital recreation of Fisher's own. It was a strange experience, and Delia admitted to Technology Review that she may not have gone through with it if Fisher had passed away before production. 2 years on, the emotions have calmed a little, and she's concluded that she'd be happy to do it again so long as she had the blessing of the Fisher family. See, and that's the thing, that they're going to give the blessing because, money. Because why not? I don't know. I don't think Carrie Fisher would really care. I don't think so. I don't know. I didn't know her personally, but I don't think she would care. It's just the fans. The fans are who you want the blessing of. And we don't want any more original trilogy if it's going to be like a reboot. If it's going to be a spinoff like you guys are claiming, it might not be terrible, But still, you can't replace Han, Luke, and Leia. You just can't. Here, which we're going to get into in this paragraph. Then there's young Han Solo, played by Alden Ehrenreich in Solo, a Star Wars story. Although the film was hardly a success, that wasn't Ehrenreich's fault. He was one of the film's highlights. Actually, no, he wasn't. He was a side character in his own story. You barely noticed him. It was a completely unnecessary cash grab of a movie just to get people's butts in the seats once per year, or every 6 months like they were trying to. And yeah, we don't... It might not have been his fault that the guy can't act and was way miscast in this role, but he could have said no. He really could have said no. I mean, it's probably better for his career because a lot of people know who he is now, but... In marked contrast to Rogue One's approach with Leia, Ehrenreich was never asked to do a Harrison Ford impression, which he probably should have been. Lucasfilm rightly decided that such an approach would be disrespectful. While they chose an actor who physically resembles a younger Ford, Ehrenreich was allowed to do his own version. Which actor? I thought they chose an actor. I thought they chose Ehrenreich. Who did they actually get? Anthony and Gruber, and we just didn't know? Because Ehrenreich doesn't look like anything like a young Harrison Ford. Ehrenreich was allowed to do his own version. As a result, he was able to successfully capture Han's spirit while making the role his own. No, he really wasn't. He didn't capture Han's spirit, in my opinion. I saw Solo. It was not good. It was very boring. He was a side character in his own movie. Finally, there's Luke Skywalker. Rey's Force vision in Star Wars The Force Awakens was originally going to include a sequence recreating Luke and Vader's duel on Cloud City from The Empire Strikes Back. That might have been interesting. You know, some actual Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. Although this scene never made it into the big screen, it was filmed with Robert Bolter cast as a young Luke Skywalker. Recently, an image of Bolter as battle-damaged Luke found its way online, showing just how accurate a recreation it was. And since I haven't really reacted to that picture, do they have it? Yeah, here. So, before I get into this too much, yes, I agree with everybody on the internet. Yes, he kind of looks like he belongs more in Lord of the Rings than, he looks more like a hobbit than Luke Skywalker. He just doesn't look right. I'm kind of glad that we didn't get that in the movie unless they were going to actually physically replace him with, Mark Hamill's. I don't know. I'm so conflicted at this point. Like, I want Star Wars to be good. Same thing with Star Trek. We want good stuff. Just maybe it's time to move on from these things. Maybe we don't need these anymore. Maybe you guys should stop making these movies because you're not going to please anybody. You're going to please like the one or two shill fanboys and not like a lot of the hardcore fans. And I know I don't speak for everybody. I just know I speak for enough people who come to the channel and want, they want the echo chamber. They want my opinion. They want the ranting because they're upset and they're angry and they don't want new stuff. So across these 3 movies, Lucasfilm has now recast all his Star Wars original trilogy roles. This creates a tremendous opportunity. Could Lucasfilm create spin-offs set during the Galactic Civil War with recast Han, Leia, and Luke and all serving in the rebellion? Probably not. They probably won't do spin-offs. They will probably just remake the movie. Because it's already scripted. It's already there. They don't have to pay anybody. They can just reshoot it scene by scene just like they're doing. This would be exactly like they're doing with like their Lion King remake and Aladdin and Dumbo and every other one of these sort of CG live action remakes of their old Disney properties. And I think they're treating Star Wars exactly the same as they're treating Lion King and Aladdin and all these other things. I think they're just going to do a brand new CG, like mostly CG sort of thing with all of these actors if they are going to do anything with them at all. They would not go and find a screenwriter to write something, some sort of a spin-off, something that we care about. Because guess what? We actually care about that. We care about the little gaps in between the original trilogy. We care about the original trilogy characters. But they don't. That's the thing. They really, really don't. They don't treat them with respect. They just kind of throw them on screen as a, hey, you like Luke Skywalker, right? Remember Luke Skywalker? And they do all those little things to try and dangle the carrot in front of fans' noses, and then just to kind of swipe it away at the last minute and say, oh, well, we kind of tricked you into getting your butt into the theater because you thought this was going to be a Luke Skywalker movie. No, it's all about Rey. It's all about Rey and Finn and Kylo Ren and all these characters that original trilogy fans don't really care about. At least a lot of us don't. Some of the characters are alright, but man, for the most part, they really fall flat. So that's definitely my opinion. I really don't think they're going to do a spin-off. It's much more likely they're going to do a reboot. And yeah, I know in this the article says it's a spin-off. The article is also speculating that they would do a spin-off. No, I don't think they'll spin it off. It'll be a reboot if they do anything, and it's going to be terrible because every time they reboot something, it's terrible. That's all Hollywood knows how to do. They wouldn't know how to do a spin-off. Just look at the track record. And before I get a lot of people in the comment section saying, oh, you haven't seen it, you don't know what they're doing, it says spin-off here in the article. Yes, but the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. What do these studios do? They constantly reboot things. All the time. They constantly reboot things. So there's no reason to not think that they're not thinking about a reboot with all these actors. They have them cast. They probably have them contracted to 2 or 3 movies, which is pretty standard in Hollywood. Just to nail down an actor, especially a big budget star like a Carrie Fisher or somebody. I don't know about these little minor characters, but they might do that. I don't know. This is pure speculation on my part. No more reboots. All right, is there anything else important in this article before I keep ranting? Oh, Lord. So yeah, I don't. Although the original trilogy shows some of the most important events in the Galactic Civil War, there are vast aspects of this period in the Star Wars timeline that are unexplored on the big screen. There's a 3-year period between A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back, then another 1-year time jump to get to Return of the Jedi. While the third film is really the decisive victory in the conflict, Chuck Wendig's aftermath novels have confirmed. No, we're not using Chuck Wendig's aftermath novels. Please no. Continue to rage in the galaxy another 5 years. After the Battle of Endor, please don't use Chuck Wendig's novel. The guy was fired for a reason, because he's a crazy person and fights with potential customers. He does. He fights with potential customers, and I do have a Chuck Wendig video that I will link in the description below, so you kind of know why my reaction for Chuck Wendig is not the best after he got fired from Lucasfilm for basically taunting and teasing the fans and getting into fights with them on social media. So that's pretty much why he got fired. These gaps are traditionally filled by official tie-in media. The old expanded universe, now branded Legends, explored the Galactic Civil War in comics and books. Disney relaunched the canon after they purchased Lucasfilm in 2010 and have simply followed the same pattern. No. Let's talk about this for a second here too. So we had the expanded universe for a lot of years. Then Disney comes along, buys Lucasfilm, and decides, okay, all the expanded universe, no longer canon, except for the few ones that we actually like that we might consider bringing in. This is why the Darth Plagueis novel is now in Legends, and it's not just, it is kind of considered, it's this sort of gray area, as best I can interpret, that it's possibly canon. It's like, they're using it as this is like a rumor, this is a legend, this is a story that could possibly have happened. So the expanded universe is no longer hard canon in line with everything else. And that's another thing Disney did wrong and pissed off a lot of the fans by declaring the expanded universe no longer canon. So this is another reason not to trust Disney at all. Oh, Lord. But here's the interesting thing. Lucasfilm's spin-off movies to date have drawn inspiration from the ideas originally developed in the Legends books and comics. Yes, they have. With the stars of the Star Wars original trilogy recast, it's entirely possible they could hone in on the Galactic Civil War and show what happened to Han, Luke, and Leia in those unseen years. The Galactic Civil War began in The New Hope when the Empire's Death Star gambit failed dramatically. Until this point, resistance to the Empire was done by a fractured group of rebel cells. The relationship between these groups dangerously disjointed. Wouldn't be was dangerously disjointed? I don't know. Proofread your articles. Leaders like Bail Organa, Mon Mothma, I can't say Star Wars names, I stumble over them so much. We're desperately trying to get the rebels to cooperate, but nobody could agree on central strategy, and every group was primarily concerned with fighting the Empire's tyranny in their own world. Oh Lord. So yeah, this is more speculation, and I'm not gonna read the entire thing because he's got like 3 parts of this article. Or there's 3 different parts of this whole article here. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that they'll do a spin-off? Do you think that they'll do the more logical choice, which is what I think they'll probably do if they do anything, and is just reboot the damn thing because we're out of ideas. We know Hollywood's out of ideas. Oh, Lord. I mean, yeah, there's a lot you could touch and people would really want to know. Same thing with this whole Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. We want to know more about Obi-Wan. Hell, we want to know more about Yoda, and at least I do. I love Yoda. I don't see them spinning things off, though. I don't see them giving us what we want. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I am MechaRandom42, your favorite YouTube harpy, and I will see you guys on the next video or live stream. Bye!